Please stand as Mrs. King's class leads us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. The Eureka Girls Cross Country Team won state championship. The Girls Cross Country Team in 2018 IHSA Class 8 state champions, led by senior Emma Argo, who repeated as the individual champion. The sophomore Alexi Fogo earned all state honors by finishing 14th place. Tess Wiegand also was all-state by placing in 24th place. Other members of the team were Lexi Goebel, Elle Knapp, Anna Perry, Noah Robinson, and the team was coached by Olivia Morris and Matt O'Hanlon. Congrats, girls. We are so proud of you.
Here are the family members of our staff at Davenport who have served our country. Aaron Wright, father of Mrs. McNutt, Army. Aaron King, husband of Mrs. King, Army. Mary Brennan, father of Mrs. Hobbs, Air Force. Ralph Brennan, grandfather of Mrs. Hobbs, Air Force. Jack Hobbs, father-in-law of Mrs. Hobbs, Army. Dale Erdman, father of Mrs. Ryan, U.S. Navy. U.S. Navy. Lisa Little, daughter of Mrs. Little, Army. Specialist 4th Class Zach Little, son of Mrs. Little, Army. Sergeant Jared Weigley, brother of Mrs. Simpkins, Army. C3 Brian Wilkie, brother of Mrs. Simpkins, Army. Dan Minger, husband of Mrs. Minger, Air National Guard. Bill Inman Jr., brother of Mrs. Chapman, Army. Danielle Middleton, daughter of Mrs. Middleton, U.S. Air National Guard. Delmer Wilson, father of Mrs. Lind, Army. Kyle Rogers, father of Mrs. Leah Brown, Army. Jake Law, son of Mrs. Joetta, U.S. Army Ranger. Kurt Wessner, husband of Mrs. Wessner, Army. Donald Kimbrough, father of Mrs. Hack, Air Force and Army. James Grier, son-in-law of Miss Beth, Marines. Sam Jones, father of Mrs. Anderson, Marines. Ian Jones, brother of Mrs. Anderson, Marines. And our very own Mrs. Lau, Army, with her brother David Slusher, Marine.
Good morning, Davenport. I'm Natalie Waringa, and here is this week's weather forecast. On Monday, the high is 34 and the low is 21, mostly cloudy. On Tuesday, the high is 30 and the low is 18, sunny. On Wednesday, the high is 36 and the low is 27, sunny. On Thursday, the high is 44 and the low is 28, mostly sunny. On Friday, the high is 42 and the low is 29, mostly sunny. So, why did the woman go outside with her purse open?
I don't know, what?
Because she expected a change in the weather.
Guess who? Mrs. Beckendorf.
Good morning. We are here with Mrs. Beckendorf, whose job is a 4th grade teacher at Davenport Elementary School. Thank you for joining us, Mrs. Beckendorf.
Thank you for interviewing me.
Where did you go to college?
I want the microphone. So I went to college at Eureka College right here in Eureka, Illinois, alma mater of Ronald Reagan.
Tell us about your family.
My family lives right here in Eureka. I have a husband, Brian, and 2 children, one of whom is a sophomore at the high school, Quentin, and my daughter, Alice, is in 3rd grade in Mrs. Simpkins' class.
Do you have any pets?
I do. I have a crazy furball cat named Momo. He misbehaves all the time and wakes us up in the middle of the night and leaves messes all over my house. So he's free to a good home.
When did you decide to become a teacher and why?
Well, I actually started out with the idea that I was going to study art in college, but it only took 1 semester for me to figure out that my art teacher in high school totally lied to me when she told me that I was good at art. And so after I realized that I'm really not very good at art, I decided to become a teacher because grade school kids think everything I draw is fantastic.
Why did you want to teach at the 4th level?
My 4th grade teacher was my absolute favorite. Her name was Mrs. Seifert, and we did the coolest things in 4th grade. She did the best read-alouds, and she was an awesome science teacher. She always had really great science experiments. We built a house out of a cardboard box and wired the entire thing and lit it up with electricity, and that was such a cool project, and I always loved 4th grade because of Mrs. Seifert. And so when I grew up, I wanted to be her.
What would you do if you won the lottery?
Well, first off, I would probably have to share with my church and my school here and probably my school back in Washburn and all my family. And after that, I would buy a really big house on a white sand beach next to the ocean and walk on the beach every morning collecting shells and never work a day again in my life.
Where would you go in a time machine?
I would love to go back to colonial America and meet our founding fathers and see how our awesome country started. Wouldn't that be cool? Who would you like to meet? Would you want to meet George Washington? That would be awesome, wouldn't it?
What song best describes you?
Well, since we're doing this interview on a Monday, I'm going to say Manic Monday by the Bangles. But if you ask me later in the week, I would hope that maybe the song that would describe me would be Grace Got You by Mercy Me, because I love that one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What is your favorite military branch? Is it Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, or Coast Guard? Army got 57, Navy got 39, Air Force got 52, Marines got 37, and Coast Guard got 18. Army wins! We would like to honor the dads in our military.
Thank you, Dad, for serving our country. Love you. Thank you, Dad, for serving for our country.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dad, for serving our country.
My dad served in the military through 2003 and 2007.
Thank you, Mr. Brugger.
Thank you, Dad, for serving our country. Dad, thank you for serving our country. I'm so proud of you. Dad, we're so proud of you. Thank you for serving this country.
PTO movie night is on Friday, November 16th. It is Incredibles 2. PTO will be selling glow sticks for $1, and they will have water, green packs, and popcorn and chips for sale. As well, bring your own comfy seat. There will be a drawing at intermissions. The doors open at 6 and the movie starts at 6:30. Hope to see you there.
What is Mrs. Lauk's favorite branch of the military?
My favorite branch of the military is
Air Force, Navy, Marines, Army, Coast Guard.
the Army.
We'll be talking about Veterans Day. Looking at history and understanding where we have come from allows us to prepare for a better future. Today we're going to be talking about Veterans Day.
What is a veteran?
A veteran is any person who survived any length of time in any military service branch.
What is a branch?
Some of the branches are the Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, and Coast Guard.
Has it always been called Veterans Day?
No, actually it used to be called Armistice Day. On June 1st, 1954, November 11th, was the beginning not just honoring troops who survived in World War I, but surviving and celebration all troops.
What is the difference between Memorial Day and Veterans Day?
Memorial Day honors America's service members who died in battle in Jersey, survived in battle. Veterans Day honors all American veterans that are lived or dead who survived their country honorable during war.
Today, on November 12th, is Chicken Soup Day. Chicken soup is a great meal to eat when it's cold. Today is also Pizza with the Works except Anchovies Day. Do you know anyone who likes anchovies? Not me. Today is also Armistice Day, better known as Veterans Day. Veterans Day is a day to celebrate all the people that have served for our country. Thank you, veterans.
Veterans Day, November 12th. PBIS celebration, November 16th. Kindergarten Native American Centers, November 20th. Thanksgiving break, November 21st through the 25th. Have a great week.
That's all, folks.